morning to all of you. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar entitled Data Science for Agriculture, jointly organized by Center for Agriculture Market Intelligence, Anand Agriculture University and IISF Vibha, Gujarat State. I, Ayushi Darji, take this opportunity to welcome our patrons, chief guest and keynote speaker, advisors, our guest speaker of this webinar, convener, co-convener, and our organizers. And I would also like to welcome our participants who have taken keen interest in this online webinar. Now we are going to start our inaugural function of this webinar. First, I would like to invite Dr. R.S. Punde sir for his welcome address. Please, sir.
Thank you, Aishi, for this brief about this webinar. And first of all, in this one-day webinar on data science for agriculture being jointly organized by our Center for Agriculture Market Intelligence, AU, and India International Science Festival, Viva, Gujarat States. First of all, at this occasion, I welcome my Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. R. Vyasas, who is always kind enough to guide us, to instruct us, and of course, for taking his keen interest in all the activities of this project, very prestigious projects at all stages. Thank you, sir, very much, and we welcome you to this inaugural function, sir. I also welcome my Principal and Dean, Dr. Y.C. Jhala, who is always there and from the day first for his guidance and keen interest in all the activities. And Dr. Prabhat Kumar, who may be joining a little later or may not be today, but he has always been there. And even before any programs, he always discuss with us, we discuss with him, seeks his guidance. I also welcome this time, especially our chief guest and keynote speaker, Dr. Samir Rohadia Saab, who is with us here. We can see him very well. Welcome you, sir. We are here to listen you very keenly. All our, as you know, this our seminar, webinar, or maybe this project is centered to higher education, PG scholars, MSc, PhD, faculty members. And data science is a very, very important, let us say it's a vital part for conducting rigorous research. And this, to some extent, we have addressed this issue earlier, but today exclusively, this webinar is centered to this data science. And sir, we are very keen to listen you and other experts who are three experts, Dr. Ankur Saxena, Dr. Meenakshi Arya, and Dr. Rajni Mohana, to learn from you and to use these things in our researches and to ask our scholars to use these things or data science in their research projects. Once again, sir, welcome you here. I also welcome my colleagues and organizing secretary, Dr. Siar Dudagra, who is here very well, and my colleague and CCPI of this group, IT group, and Director IT, Dr. Kathiya Saab, and of course, all the participants, all the committee members and joint organizing secretaries who are doing a lot of pain and a lot of work in this regard, Dr. Y. A. Lad, Dr. Vidyadhar Vaidya, who is from National Council member, Vibha, and Dr. Prashant Kunjadia. And also I welcome all the organizing committee members who are making efforts to make this program successful. Once again, I welcome you all in this one-day webinar, and also particularly all the participants who have already joined and who are likely to join. So just not saying much, but we all know about this project, particularly for those like Dr. Samir is there or others are there. This project is on market intelligence and data analysis, data management, maybe time series data or cross-sectional data. Its use is very, very important, making or maybe with the help of some software, readily available software. 10 years back, this was not a scenario. But now data science and applications of easily available specialized software is the key part for doing any rigorous research. So I think in all the areas of market research, maybe the price forecast, demand and supply, or maybe the global intelligence is called exports, imports, marketing, and the producers organizations. In all kind of these researches, we need the knowledge of data science as well as softwares available. And in today's programs, we are here to listen all of you and to learn many things. Once again, I welcome you all to these programs. Okay, over to you, Ayushi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for introductory remarks. Moving further, we feel honored to have with us our Honorable Vice Chancellor of Anand Agriculture University, Dr. R.V. Vyas, sir. I would like to request you, sir, for your presidential address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ayushi. Good morning to one and all. Dr. Pundirji, Dr. Jhala, and our today's esteemed chief guest and keynote speaker, Dr. Samirji, Dr. Ankurji, Dr. Dhaval, Dr. Chetan, and many more who have joined today's webinar this morning. I am very happy to join with you. And some change has been happened only because of I have one more meeting to be chaired at 10:30 onwards. So I say, let me have some few minutes with you to discuss some few points with you. I think some good point has been extended to me by Dr. Pundi. I am not an expert of data science. I am a microbiologist, but I know to learn microbes, the billions of microbes are there under the soil. And to learn them, the first science which is helpful to us is the data science. I can say the world is behind data today. Every company, every person is interested to have data, and everything is on data based now. I think our life has been become data based. I think that is the reason why so many organizations like our NIGP CAST, then the Vibha and Vigyan Gurjari all have joined today for this webinar, that our students, our stakeholders who have joined today's webinar virtually, they can get some more and more information. And I'm sure that Dr. Samir, with his vast experience and his experience in Germany also will be useful to our today's participant, what way we can use the data. I can say that though when I started my journey in this university in 85, we were only knowing that statistical analysis and using facets, facets based analysis. Then calculator came to us, and it was a miraculous thing for us. Now we have a calculator, we can do everything very easily. All statistical analysis we can do very easily. But now I have learned that so many Excel based statistical tools are available. Our students has got very easy way they can analyze their large data which they are gathering for their 2 years masters or 3 years doctoral research. I can say that our university is also conducting many surveys and research. Whatever the surveys and research based data is there, it can easily be interpreted with the data analysis tools. And especially I can say Vika, MATLAB and SAS are the new upcoming software which has helped us a lot. I can say every industry is now having one data analyst with them, because industry has to learn from their past, whatever the information is available with the industry and about the market, data analysis is must. So now earlier we were having experts of marketing, but now with marketing, we can have an expert of data analyst also in every company. In agriculture, I can say that plant science, soil science and biotechnology, all three has been benefited well with this data science and newer tools which we are using. And ultimately our goal is to using all the data and information to uplift small and marginal farmer and to solve the problem of food in the world. I think our this particular project, NIGP CAST project at Anand, is on market analyst, and they are doing a lot of they are gathering a lot of primary and secondary data, and using that data they will have some prediction about the market. Of course, market prediction is very difficult, but with the expert opinion of all Dr. Samir and Dr. Ankurji, I can say that they will be able to learn something interesting today. Using that, they can interpret their data very well and they can push it well. I can say that right now in agriculture sector, even companies which are dealing the business in the field of fertilizer and pesticide, they are also taking the help of data analyst, because at what time, at which moment pest is to be controlled, for that also data analysis is useful. And our agriculture is fully dependent on weather. We know that weather parameter analysis through data bank is the most important thing. I think our meteorologist experts are also there in the list, Dr. Manoj Lunagaria, Rucha Madam and others. They know that we have a 60 years database with us about weather and forecast. We have a master computer here with them in meteorology department. So they, based on that, they are also predicting something. And for that, whatever they will learn today, how to grow the data, how to analyze the data, and how to preserve and protect the data. Everything is important nowadays in the world. That data is our life, I can say that. Like money, we need data also every day. In day-to-day life, we need the data. And I'm sure that this today's webinar will be helpful to all the software expert, all the management expert, and all the scientists, students, and all stakeholders who have joined today with the newer information on data analysis. With this few word, I would like to wish a very successful webinar. Of course, Dr. Samirji, I will not be able to hear you for a longer period. I will not able to, but later on when I will get a time, I will learn from your presentation what is the need at our university. You give some suggestions to Dr. Pundir and Dr. Jhala, what way your knowledge will be useful to our this project NHGP CAS. Thank you very much. All the best for this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring words. Now, I would like to request Dr. Y.C. Jhala, sir, Principal and Dean of IABMI AU Anand, for his inaugural address. Please, sir. Sir, please unmute yourself. Jhala, sir.
Good morning to all. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Vyas, our today's Chief Speaker, as well as guest, Dr. Samir Rohadia from Germany, our Chief Guest and the Speaker, Dr. Ankur Saxena, this project's Principal Investigator, Dr. Punir, these coordinators of this webinars, Dr. Kathiria, Dr. Chetan, and all participants. I am very happy to welcome on behalf of Principal and Dean of these International Agribusiness Management Institutes. So I welcome all. This is very important webinars. And I would very happy to say we frequently organize such type of webinar. As you know, this is a World Bank and ICR funded projects, very big project actually on this market intelligence centers. So until now, we have organized 45 such type of programs, and there is a huge participants, total participants, around 50,000 participants in such a webinars. Among these, the students is 29,000, faculty 11,000, farmers also participated in such type of webinar, farmers and entrepreneurs 6,000. And today's webinar also, I have given this data. The total registered member is 442. Among these, faculty 172 and student 270. So this is very important webinars, and from all over the country, this participated in this webinar from 24 states, from other countries also, from Israel, Nepal, Bangladesh, Canada, Nigeria, also participated in this webinar. So this webinar, you know, data science is very important nowadays. Generally in our agriculture economics, so far I concern, because of my domain area is agriculture economics. We are collecting primary and secondary data, but now there is a much more important about this sensor-based data, this satellite data, how to this collect the data and how to interpret. So this data-driven decision is very important. Generally, we take this more data-driven decisions, and data-driven decision in agriculture provide higher productivity, you know, practices sustainability, and even helps to provide transparency to consumers wanting to know more about their farmings. So data analytics can be used to accumulate bulk to obtain information, which can be used by farmers to optimize their farming. So farmer can thus make smart farming decisions using the information throughout the production cycle, from planning, planting, harvesting, all the way to its marketability. So this is very important area, and the application of this data analysis in many areas, generally so far agriculture is concerned, this digital soil and crop mapping, this relate to building digital maps to soil type and properties, weather productions. It is very important, you know, for forecasting. So weather productions, fertilizer recommendation on sensor basis. We give this what type of fertilizers when needed. So decision regarding disease detection and pest management, this is also by using these sensors. Then adaptation to climate change. Now climate change also, and what is the effect on agriculture? This is very important. So automated irrigation system also, we can use this data in the, in Kutch area, this date palm farming is popular, and so many persons now using this sensor based irrigation system they have developed. So once this our expert proficiency in as a coder, they can take further study also on algorithm design and analysis, scientific computations, probability and statistical modeling for computer science, software engineering. This is also very important, database systems. And this introduction to artificial intelligence is very important nowadays, and machine learning, image processing and analysis. So in all the areas, this is data science is very important. So for our project is concerned, our project regarding this market intelligence, in which we forecasting about the prices. So for forecasting of prices, we have also MOU with this ISRO. So in satellite data, if we convert this satellite data regarding this climate and this production, so we can estimate the production actually, our main area. And if it is available satellite data about our competing countries, suppose in our cumin crop, our competing countries, Syria, Afghanistan, what the production of this Syria and Afghanistan, that effect on the prices of our Indian crops also. So if we get this competent crop area and we can develop such type of models, there this data science, there we have so many historical data, empirical data, as well as if we on this empirical data, if we develop one model, then our idea is if you get 1 centigrade lower the temperature or higher the temperature, what will be the effect on productions? So if we estimate productions, then we can judge this, what will be the marketable surplus of our country on particular area by developing some particular model. On this marketable surplus, what will be the effect of prices? So we can get the prices. So this type of data is very important. Nowadays, this price fluctuation is very crucial problem issue in our country so far concern is because prices, farmers are not getting sometimes better prices because overproduction. Sometimes they are not getting they are getting higher prices. So these fluctuations in prices of agriculture commodities have an adverse effect on the GDP of the country also. So the farmers are emotionally and financially affected as their years of hard work go in vain. So prediction of the prices may help the agriculture supply chain in making necessary decisions in minimizing and managing the risk of price fluctuations. So the application of this data science is very important. So some are the expert about this data science experts, as well as some are the expert in this marketing, agriculture marketing. So we combine this both the expertise, then we can take a very good decision that will be very helpful to the farmers. So that is why we have planned to organize these seminars. So by saying this much of words, I say success for this seminar and for all the participants, this will be very beneficial. That is, I consider this is a very beneficial seminar, and they will learn so many things from this webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. Now I would like to introduce our chief guest of this webinar, Dr. Samir Roharia. He has completed his PhD in ERP implementation from Gujarat Technological University, Ahmedabad, and Masters in Data Science from University of Bologna, Italy. He has 20 years of teaching experience in reputed institutes and university within the Germany and India. He is currently working as IT trainer and data analyst in Hanover, Germany. He has successfully conducted 40 webinars and workshops in last 6 months of pandemic era and trained around 4,000 professional faculty members and students in the area of big data, MS Power BI, Tableau, MS Excel, and data science. At present, he is teaching business analytics in course in the 5 Indian universities. He visited 15 European countries till the date, and he is the life member of Baroda Management Association and Indian Society of Training and Development. He has 5 awards for teaching excellence from reputed institutes in his credit. With this, I request Dr. Samir Rohadia for his keynote address. Please, sir.
Thank you very much, Ayushi, for this wonderful, I would say, introduction. And so, good morning, all of you. And currently, here the time is 6:20, and I would say that I woke up because of all of you, but I'm really, really happy that I'm part of this. I would say that big program which has been organized by Anand Agriculture University. Now, Anand Agricultural University, I've been hearing since I was in my college days. I did my Bachelor of Electrical Engineering and also MBA with IT specialization from MS University of Baroda. So whenever I was passing by Anand, I was always seeing the board of Anand Agriculture University, but till date I have not been fortunate enough to visit the campus. But I think so now in my next visit, I will surely visit the campus. So it was very nice to hear, first of all, from our respected Vice Chancellor, sir. I think so. He gave the path that say how we can go on it, and he also emphasized the importance of data science. And later on, I say Dr. Pundir and respected Jala sir, you have given a lot of things. And now, even because I'm not from the agriculture's area, I'm from the management area. So now I've got really a good, I would say, information about what is your project all about. And also during the when I was preparing my presentation for this webinar, I was so much fascinated that how data science is now changing agriculture. Yeah, I was not having that much idea, to be frank with you. I was having more information and knowledge about the application of data science in retail and insurance and finance, but agriculture was totally new. But first of all, thanks goes to all of you to give me this chance. And then because of this webinar, I could go a little bit deeper. Yeah. Still, I'm not an expert in this thing, but say I know that now there are a lot of applications of big data or data science in agriculture, say both in India as well as in other countries also. So I would say that thank you all very much for providing me this chance. And I would definitely like to be part of this project also, if it is possible. Yeah, so whatever help you require from Germany, and even so if required, we can also have tie-up with the local universities also and local research institutes. Yeah, though currently I'm not having any idea that which are the universities, but definitely I'll try. I'll find it out, all those things based on your requirement. And I would say that Anand Agriculture University, it's a very, very esteemed institute, I would say. And very well known throughout India also and outside also. So I think so it will not be a problem for a person like me to introduce, say, AAU to the universities over here. Yeah. So please let me know later on. We can discuss on this thing. Yeah. So I would say that I am now in data science area since last around 5 years. Yeah. And it was, for me, it was a big change. I was in the management area, and I was a professor teaching for 15 years, and suddenly I left all those things. And then I came to Italy. I studied this master program again, like it was a second master in data science. And so always I tell my students as well as my faculty members that please come out of your comfort zone. Yeah, because everything was very good. I was say my hometown is Baroda, so I was having a very good job over there, teaching job, everything was great. But then I thought that I have to do something different. Yeah. So I wanted to go back to the industry. So that's why I left my job. I left my family also. I came to Italy. I learned this data science, and then I shifted to Germany. And currently, I've also worked over here in a company known as Continental. That is Continental is famous for tires. Yeah, you must be knowing. So I worked here for 2 years. Initially, I also did my internship over there because it was part of my data science course. So first of all, for me, it was a big change because I was teaching. I was a faculty member, and suddenly I became a student. So, and that too, student at the age of 41. When I did my course, and my classmates were of 24, 25 years. But I really enjoyed that the second phase of my student life, and I learned a lot of things, and now currently I'm trying to apply this thing. And because of this COVID, I would say that thanks goes to COVID that currently I'm part of this webinar, because otherwise, if I would have been in India, then only I would have been part of the discussion. But it is good that COVID has changed many things. Yeah. And for a person like me sitting in Germany, it is now possible to conduct the sessions also. As Madam said, that currently I'm teaching this business analytics course to 5 different universities. So everything this is possible because of this change in the situation. Yeah. So once I congratulate all for organizing this webinar, and also special thanks to my friend Dr. Chetan Dudagra, who was continuously coordinating with me. And also I'm very happy to see my another friend Dr. Ankur Saxena as a resource person over here. So yeah,
a pleasure, sir. My pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So thank you once again, and then we'll start later on with our I'll share some more points in my presentation. Yeah. So thank you once again.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to request Dr. C.R. Dudagra, Organizing Secretary of this webinar, for giving vote of thanks.
Very good morning to one and all present here. It's my great privilege to propose a vote of thanks. First of all, I am very much thankful to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. R.V. Vyas sir, for sparing his valuable time and to be present with us in this inaugural functions of this webinar. So thank you very much, sir. I am thankful to Dr. R.C. Agrawal, sir, DDG Education and National Director, NAHEP project, ICR New Delhi, for continuous guidance and support. I am also thankful to Dr. Prabhat Kumar, sir, National Coordinator, NAHEP CAST Project, New Delhi, for his continuous guidance and support. I am also thankful to our today's chief guest, Dr. Samir Roharia, sir, to accept our invitations on one call on and to become a keynote speaker of today's event. I am also thankful to other today's speaker, Dr. Ankur Saxena, sir, Dr. Meenakshi Arya, and Dr. Rajni Mohana, for accepting our invitations and to become a resource person of the today's events. I am thankful to our principal and dean, Dr. Y.C. Jhala sir, for his continuously motivating and encouraging us to organizing various events for the faculties and our students. So thank you, sir. I am thankful to our principal investigation of this project, Dr. R.S. Pundir sir, for continuous guidance and support for the events. I am also thankful to Dr. Vidyadhar Vaidya, National Council Member Vibha, and Dr. Prasant Kunjadia sir, for his continuous support for this event. I am also thankful to our co-convener and core co-PI, Dr. Dhaval Kathiria sir, for continuous motivations and technical supports for this event. I am also thankful to our joint organized secretary and core co-PI of HRD group, Dr. Y.L. Ladd, for his all kinds of support. And last, I am also thankful to all these organizing committee members, including research associates, senior research fellow, and all the technical staff for continuous kind support. So once again, thank you all to be present here in this inaugural function. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving vote of thanks. Now I again request Dr. Samir Roharia for keynote address and share some more points with us. So please, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, madam. Now, let me share my screen. Okay, so are you able to see my screen, madam?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Yeah, okay. So at any point of time, if you are not able to see my screen or if you're not able to hear me, then please let me know. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm switching off my camera so that you can focus more on the presentation. Okay. So once again, I welcome all of you to this webinar, and so I welcome even all the participants who are currently hearing all of us on YouTube. Yeah, the faculty members, the students, the dignitaries. Yeah. Once again, I welcome all of you. Now, the topic that I'll be talking about is introduction to big data and its applications in agriculture. So currently, those of you who are totally new to big data, so for them, it will be really good for you to understand that what really is big data. And even those who are having little bit information about big data, maybe I'll try to clear the major points, yeah, so that you are the concept of big data will be totally thorough to you, yeah, and then maybe you can then go into detail later on, yeah. And also my focus will be more on the agriculture, yeah. So let us start. Already this introduction is done. Okay, now flow presentation will be like this, that I'll be starting with the introduction to big data. Then I'll be talking about the big data application. So here, normally, as I said earlier, that I'll be I'm giving a lot of say examples related to retail, insurance, and finance, and many things. But here, the focus for this presentation will be totally on agriculture. Yeah. If anybody later on, if you are having any question related to other areas also, then you can ask me. Then I'll be a little bit talking about what are the different types of job roles which are there. Especially this will be more interesting for the students also, or even if there are some industry professionals who are in one area and they want to jump into big data, then also this information will be helpful to you. Then little bit I'll talk about the Indian analytics market, then how is the European analytics market. And then finally, I'll be talking a little bit about these two tools, that is Power BI and Tableau, because these are now very famous tools for the data visualization. So just I will give you some idea about what are these tools which are there. Yeah. Okay. So normally I start my presentation with this particular quote. It says that information is the oil of the 21st century and analytics is the combustion engine. So this has been given by a person known as Peter Sondergaard, and he's from this very famous research company known as Gartner Research. Yeah. So before talking about this quote, you must have also heard about another quote, that is data is the new oil. Even our Mr. Mukesh Ambani, he's also regularly using this quote in his speech. So based on that particular quote, this person, Peter Sondergaard, he has given importance to these two words, that is information as well as analytics. Yeah. And we know that from data, we get information. So here he is highlighting this information, and he says that information is the oil of the 21st century. Now, when we say oil, it means that it is very, very precious thing for all of us here. And analytics is the combustion engine. Now, simply having the oil, it is not enough. We should also have some engine which can process this information, yeah, which can process this oil. So that's why here, without business analytics, I would say, or without data analytics, you cannot do anything. Yeah. So just if you are keeping, because as say our Vice Chancellor sir, he mentioned about that. So there are institutions which are having a lot of historical data, but just keeping the data, it is not important. We have to do the further analysis. Yeah, that's why now this concept of big data is becoming very popular. So now let us start with the first section, that is introduction to big data. Now, a question will come in your mind that why now this big data is becoming so popular? Why it is, why people are so much talking about this concept? Yeah. So one of the reason for this, say the, I would say the why big data is very famous is because of this particular thing. That is, this is a diagram which shows that what happens on internet in 1 minute. So 1 minute, or you can say 60 seconds. So in 1 minute on Facebook, 1.3 million logins are done. Then 19 million SMS are sent. Yeah. Then on YouTube, 4.7 million videos are viewed. So likewise, you can see that so many emails are sent. Yeah. TikTok currently, yes, it is totally banned in India, but yes. So here we can see that these are the famous social media platforms which are there. Also some e-commerce websites. So what happens that nowadays, because of all these different applications, huge amount of data is getting generated. Okay, you can just see that if this is the situation in 60 seconds or 1 minute, then you can just imagine that what is going to happen in 1 hour or 1 day or 1 month or 1 year. Yeah. So huge amount of data is getting generated nowadays. This was not there, I would say, like 15 years back. Yeah. So currently, so we are having this much huge amount of data, and who are the people who are the culprit? I would say we all are the culprit. I would say, yeah. So we are doing all these things. Yeah. So data is getting generated because of all these applications. The second one is the Internet of Things. That is IoT. Yeah, we all know about IoT. Now, those of you who are new to this IoT, just I can give a very simple definition of IoT. That what is IoT? So it is a network of devices. Yeah, here you can see that we are having different devices. So it is a network of devices which are connected with each other so that there is easy information exchange. Yeah. So say for example, if I buy a new mobile, and then as soon as I insert the SIM card and as soon as I start the internet, then definitely my mobile is part of this network. Yeah, that is part of IoT. And then what happens that it starts receiving the information, and I can also send information to my friends and colleagues. Yeah, so it is part of this IoT. Now, how IoT it is contributing to big data, that we'll see over here. So here you can see that in this graph, on x-axis we are having the year, and on y-axis we are having the number of devices which are in billions. Yeah. So you can say that in here we can see that we'll be starting with 1992. Yeah. In 1992, you can say that around 1 million devices were there, or we can say 10 lakhs devices were there in the whole world. Yeah. But then you see that there was an exponential growth of this number of devices. Okay. So we have already completed now 2020, and it is estimated that more than 50 billion devices are now there. Okay. So this was 1 million in 1992, and in 2020, it was 50 billion. So you see the growth of it. Yeah. And nowadays, if we see, a normal human being will be having at least 3 to 4 minimum devices. Yeah, we are talking about one laptop or one mobile. Sometimes people are now very common that you may have 2 mobiles also. Then maybe sometimes some people may have an iPad or some smartwatches. So all these are the different number of devices. Yeah. So because of what happens, that because the number of devices increases, definitely those devices are going to generate data. And that is the reason, one of the reason I would say, that why we are talking about the big data. Okay, huge volume. Normally when we visualize big data, it means we are talking about huge volume of data. Yeah. So these are the two things. Now, before I go into the definition of big data, just I would like to give you some idea about what are the different types of data. Yeah, especially this will be more say good for the students to understand this thing. Yeah. So types of data. So there are three types of data. We are having structured data, semi-structured data, and unstructured data. Now, what is structured data? As the name suggests, structured data means the data which is having some kind of structure. Yeah. So we are talking about tables, and tables consist of rows and columns. So here we are talking about the Excel files and CSV files and database files. Yeah. So up till now we were working or we were very comfortable working with this kind of files. Yeah. That is the structured data. Now, before I go for the semi-structured data, let me come to this unstructured data. So unstructured data, as the name suggests, that there is no structure. Yeah, it is just opposite to the structured data. So here we are having the image file, then audio file, video file. So normally when we get these kind of files, we are not able to divide these files and then put it into some kind of structure, or we cannot put it into some rows and columns. Yeah, that's why these kind of data are known as unstructured data. And just for your information, that in today's world, it is said that 85 to 90% of the data which is getting generated, it is this unstructured data. Yeah, 85 to 90%. And then the rest are these two types of data. Yeah. So today the company or say the various companies are interested to understand that what is so special about this unstructured data. Okay. Nowadays you must have seen that most of the companies, they are having their Facebook account, they are having the Twitter account, Instagram, and all those things. So they continuously wants to know that what are the feelings of their customer related to their products, related to the company. Yeah. So many times they do a lot of analysis, like especially there is an analysis known as sentimental analysis, where they want to understand the sentiments of their customers. Yeah. Sometimes we know that if we are not happy with a product of a company, we just tweet on the Twitter. Yeah. So company wants to know that whether they are having positive image or negative image or neutral image. Yeah. So they really want to understand this thing. And for analyzing this unstructured data, definitely you require the big data tools. Okay. It is not possible with the normal data analysis. Yeah. The in between part is our semi-structured data. So semi-structured data means we are talking about where we can take example of an email. Yeah. Now semi-structured means it is having a combination of both structured data as well as unstructured data. So here in email, how email is a part of the semi-structured data. So say for example, if I want to send an email to Chetan sir, yeah, then I have to write in the two line that I have to write the email ID of Chetan sir. Then if I want to send that same email to many people, then I have to say use CC and BCC. And then I have to write down something in the subject line. So the top portion on any email is the structured part. Yeah, that is common. But the message that we are writing, yeah, that is the unstructured part because it is not common. Yeah. I may write a small email to Chetan sir, and then another say to my friend, I may write something like bigger one, and the content will be totally different. So that's why that is the unstructured part. Yeah. So semi-structured means it is a combination of both structured and unstructured. So what is big data? Yeah. So here I've given a definition, but before this definition, maybe some of you must be already knowing about these 3 V's of big data. Yeah. So we have volume, variety, and velocity. Yeah. So one of the author, he mentioned that whenever you want to define big data, then you can define with the help of this 3 V's. Okay. Now, first of all, we'll start with the volume. So what is volume? Yeah. And so whenever we talk about big data, as I said earlier also, that we visualize that, okay, we are talking about large amount of data. Yeah. So that is one thing. So we are talking about volume. Initially, we were having like gigabytes and terabytes of data which was getting generated. But now we are talking about the say petabytes, yottabytes, zettabytes of data. Because of all these social media platforms, huge amount of data is getting generated. Yeah. So here in big data, we are having volume. Then we are having the variety. Okay. So now so why we are talking about variety? Now here you can see that we are having the structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data. Yeah. So variety means big data consists of these 3 types of data. And as I've already say informed you that 85 to 90% of the data is unstructured, while the rest are structured and semi-structured. So in big data, we are finding the variety of data. The third one is the velocity. So velocity means, the simple definition can be that the rate at which the data is getting generated. So we are talking about the frequency of data generation. So initially, like, because so many of you have seen the earlier computers and how the processing was done. So we were having the batch processing of data. Then after when because I worked with the ERP implementation also, so when ERP came into picture, that is enterprise resource planning, then we were talking about the real-time data. Yeah. Now, because of the social media platforms, we are talking now about the streaming data. Okay, streaming data and near-time data. Now, why velocity is important over here? Because, say for example, if I want to do any detailed data analysis, and if I say that, okay, whatever the data which has been generated till yesterday midnight, yeah, till yesterday midnight, only that data I'll be taking into consideration. Now, if this is the situation, then my data analysis will not be perfect. Yeah, because the reason is that today morning, yeah, maybe somewhere some earthquake must have taken place or some tsunami must have come. Okay, I'm just visualizing this thing. Okay, I am just assuming this thing. I don't expect that this should happen. But what I mean to say that today, if something goes wrong, then definitely that will affect our situation. Yeah, it can affect our sales also, it can affect our other sections. So that's why whenever we are in today's world, whenever we are doing the data analysis, we have to take continuous data for the analysis. Okay, so that's why we are talking about the streaming data. Yeah. So with the help of these 3 V's, we can say that we can define the big data. So let me come back to this definition. So what it says that big data, it is defined as a term which handles the combination or also single parts of volume, variety, and velocity of data. Now this first line, it is very, very important, because most of the people, they are having a misconception that when we are having volume, variety, and velocity, then only it is known as big data. But the answer is wrong. What I mean to say that even if you are having just volume of data, okay, say for example, if you are working in a bigger organization, you may have volume of data, you may not have variety or velocity. It is possible. Yeah. Or you may have just volume and velocity. So in that case also, that data is known as big data. Okay. If you are working in a smaller company, you may not have volume of data, but you may have variety of data. So in that case also, again, that data is considered as big data. So that is what is mentioned over here, that either we can have 1 V or 2 V's of say big data, or we can have 3 V's of big data. Okay, in all the case, that data is considered as big data. So we are having these single parts of volume, variety, and velocity of data with cost-effective, innovative forms of information processing. Yeah, because normally, say as the dignitaries were talking about the data analysis, now earlier the tools which were available, they were very costly tools. Okay, we had to pay a lot of money for that tools. But nowadays we are talking about the open source tools, yeah, open source softwares which are available. So because of that, the overall cost of data analysis is very low, and we are having different innovative forms of information processing. And finally, why we are doing all these things? So that to enable enhanced insight, decision making, and process automation. We want to get insight out of our data, and also we want to take some decisions, because as I think Sujala sir talked about that, say based on the project of market intelligence, that we want to know that what are the say how much production is there in the other countries for a crop like say cumins, and then accordingly we want to make a decision about the pricing of cumins in India. Yeah, so that is very much required. Yeah, so all this is possible with the help of big data, and also we use big data for process automation. Yeah, if we are having some kind of old process and if we want to automate it, then definitely we can also, big data can also pinpoint that how to do that automation. Yeah. So this is about the 3 V's of big data. Then later on, another person came with the 7 V's of big data. Yeah. Now in 7 V's also, I'm not going into detail, but here already these 3 V's are present. The earlier 3 V's: volume, velocity, and variety. This person, he added 4 more V's, and he defined it as 7 V's of big data. Then the third guy, he said that, okay, now we are having 10 V's of big data. Yeah. So whenever I'm addressing the students, I always say that please complete your studies as fast as possible, because these V's and P's, yeah, even if I talk about the 4 P's of marketing, when I was studying in MBA, we were having just 4 P's of marketing. And currently, I think so there are 7 P's of marketing, which I came to know. So try to complete your studies as fast as possible, because otherwise these P's and V's will increase. Okay, maybe next year I'll come out with my 14 V's of big data. Yeah. So for me, it is very easy, but for students, it is difficult to remember those V's and P's. Yeah. This is just on a lighter part. But yes, people are now defining it like that. Yeah. Now we come to the main topic, that is big data application areas. Yeah. So here, just for your understanding, that big data, I've shown that say only these 8 areas. But to be frank with you, big data can be applied in all the areas or all the sectors. Whatever you think about it, there we can apply the big data. But here I've just highlighted these 8 application areas like banking and securities, communication, media, healthcare, manufacturing, insurance, retail, education, and transportation. And now I'll be talking about the big data applications in agriculture. Yeah, this is what I was very much fascinated to know more about this application in agriculture. So let us start with the first one, that how big data can be applied in agriculture. So the first one is digital soil and crop mapping. Okay, so here it is said that this thing is related to the to building the digital maps for soil types and properties. Yeah, so there are some various say through some satellites and through some special cameras, you are trying to get the you are trying to create some map by which you can identify that, okay, what is the soil type, what are its properties, and based on that you are able to say define that which kind of crops can be grown over there in that particular soil. Yeah. So it is said that some people in the agriculture industry, they manage so many acres of land that it's almost impossible to get prompt updates and alerts about potential problems without help from the technology. Now I'll just share my experience, because here in especially in Germany, what I've seen, that whenever we are traveling from one city to another city, say for example by train or by our car, so I've seen that here in Germany there are huge, I would say, areas of land. Yeah, especially for the say for each farmer. Yeah. So now then I came. I was very much interested to know that why they are having so much huge land of agriculture. Yeah, in India, what happens that if the father is having a big land, then if the father is having 4 say son, then it gets divided later on. फिर उसके बाद वो जो 4 सन हैं उनके भी जो बच्चे हैं, that also again that land get divided, and finally when you see that you are having a very small piece of land. Yeah. Now here in Germany the things are different. Yeah. Why the farmers are having huge land over here? Because normally here, if the father is having the land, and if the father is having, say for example, 4 sons, or even the land is also sometimes given to the daughters also. Yeah. But out of that 4 sons, only 1 son will be getting the land. Yeah. Means he has to take care of the land or the farm, and the other son, they will be getting some kind of money out of it. Yeah. They will be getting their share, but they will be in the form of money. So what happens that big farm, it is still remaining like that only. There is no division over there. Yeah. And that person can take care of that farm. Yeah. So whenever you are having a big farm, then your overall cost of economies, it is very low. Yeah. And you are able to get some money out of it. Okay. So here also nowadays, people are say selling their farm, and then they are coming out of this agriculture business. But still here, the government is also doing a lot of support. Yeah. But this is very, very interesting. It is, especially for me also, that why the people are having big farms over here. Yeah. So normally when you are having big farms, then it is impossible to know something about your say particular say area of land. Yeah. So either if you visit that area, then you are able to know that, okay, here the soil is not so good, and I'm not getting the crop. So that's why all this say there are this say these cameras which are available, and also the satellites which can help to identify it can take the picture of your whole farm, and then it can pinpoint that where the soil is good, where the soil is bad, and accordingly you can have your different crops over there. So this is what we mean by the digital soil and crop mapping. Then weather prediction. Vice Chancellor sir also talked about this weather prediction. Yeah. So this is very, very important because crops are dependent on weather. So normally here, so it is said that the quality of crops from the field to the market, it depends on the weather. Yeah. If the weather is good enough, then definitely we are having a large amount of crops, and vice versa is also happening. So here the big data analytics experts, they knows how to use the tools that identify the patterns and relationships. Yeah, as I think so producer also talked about that say you are having say meteorology department is having large amount of data. Yeah, and the historical data. So we have to analyze those data, identify the patterns over there. Yeah, and the relationship, and accordingly so we can predict the weather. And once the weather prediction is good, then accordingly we can give that information to the farmers, and farmers can use it, and we can have better production. Yeah. So say the data analytics, they can or say the data analytics expert, they can draw conclusions through the examination of specific factors leading to change in the weather. Yeah, sometimes, because here also I'm living in Germany. Say in the morning we are having some sunny weather, and suddenly we are having clouds, and then just now we are having the winter. So yes, things are changing very drastically. So for person like me, it is not a big matter, but when you are a farmer, then it makes a difference. Yeah. So weather prediction, then fertilizers recommendation. Oh, this is a great field. So here it's so normally we have seen that majority of farmers who are using the fertilizers, they are doing lot of trial and error. Yeah, sometimes it is a guesswork or estimation for using the fertilizers. Now whenever you are doing trial and error or guesswork, definitely so we are having lot of wastage of fertilizers. Okay, so here big data professionals are now able to advise the farmers with the right quantity of fertilizers. Okay, so based on your crop type and also the other factors they take into consideration, and accordingly they can provide the information about that what is the right quantity of fertilizer for a particular crop to the farmers. Yeah. So when you are going for a specific quantity of fertilizer, then definitely the crops and everything will be, they will be healthy and will be getting good production out of it. So here also big data can help in a very large scale. The next one is disease detection and pest management. Yeah. So normally we have also heard that say agriculture pest, say they are the big enemy of farmers. Yeah. And especially it can cut the farmers' profit in a big way. Also on the other side, when we are having pests, then definitely we also use lots of pesticides. So if we are misusing pesticides, then definitely it can have adverse effect on the people, yeah, on also on the plants and other living things. So here, say there are digital tools and data analysis which are available, and they are being utilized to scientifically deal with harmful insects. Okay, I have seen there are also some of the videos which are available on YouTube where say if there is a particular I would say pest which is there on the plant, and when you are trying to do the or say when you are trying to say sprinkle the pesticide, then it will try to be exact on the pest. Yeah, so it will not try to harm the plant, but it will definitely cure the pest. Yeah, so there are machines also which are available which can accurately do this say pest control, I would say. So that is one thing. And then we are talking about the disease detection. Yeah, because plants are also affected by various diseases. So here it is said that disease detection can be done by taking images of the field. Yeah. So nowadays we are having this drone facility. So we can use the drones, and the drones can take the image of the field, and then that things are processed, and with the help of that images we can very well identify that which are the affected areas, yeah, with this disease, and accordingly we can go for the treatment of it. Yeah. So rather than moving around the field in a large field, it is this kind of drone technology are very convenient. Yeah. So initially maybe the setup cost will be high, but then over the period of time you'll be getting return out of it. Yeah. So disease detection and pest management also huge applications are there. Then adaptation to climate change. Yeah. We all know that climate change is a big concern, and it has already affected the agriculture sector very well. So now normally, like in India also, we are having our farming calendar, yeah, traditional farming calendar. But nowadays we know that things are changing very drastically, okay, because of this climate change. So now that it is very difficult to adapt to that our farming timetable. Yeah. So here, big data professionals are working very hard to figure out ways to compensate for the change. So whenever you are having a drastic climate change, then what kind of effect or what kind of change we can do so that we can save our crops. Yeah. So data scientists are also analyzing the agriculture soil data to understand how soil can cope with climate change also. Yeah, this is also very important, because soil, if you are having knowledge about it, then if there is some kind of change in the climate, then definitely we are also having solution that how I can re-energize my soil and how I can get more production. Yeah. So now people are, a lot of people are working on this thing also, climate change. And the last one over here is automated irrigation system. Yeah. Now we know that in all the countries of the world, say there is a shortage of water, and there so we are having a lot of hue and cry about the say use of water. Yeah, save water, and all those these concepts are there. So in agriculture also, the major problem with farmers is they are facing is the water scarcity. So drip irrigation, I am say definitely we know this thing very well, and so say many farmers have adopted the drip irrigation, and so nowadays it is also possible that we may have an automated irrigation system. So whenever the plant it is little bit dry, immediately that water will come out, otherwise it will stop. Yeah. And plus this automated irrigation system, it is also dependent on the weather prediction. So if it is possible that today the plant is little bit dry, but then if it is forecasted that tomorrow morning we'll be having rains, then we do not require that irrigation. Yeah, we don't have to give plant or say we don't have to give water to the plant, and because we know that tomorrow morning we are having the rains. Yeah, so that is how also this automated irrigation system works. Yeah, so it is continuously getting the data from the weather, and accordingly it is functioning. Yeah, so this is what little bit I wanted to give information, though I'm not an expert in agriculture, but when I collected this data, I was really happy to learn about these things, that how this big data is changing in agriculture. Yeah. Now I'm not going to play this video, but this is one video about precision agriculture solutions. So this is I've taken from YouTube. Later on you can see this video. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not. Yeah. Now the third part is types of roles. So here I'll be, as I said earlier, that I'll be talking about what are the different kind of job roles which are there. Yeah. So if you want to jump into this data science area, yeah, then so what are the different levels at which you can join this data science area? Yeah. So these are the three roles which are there. We are having data scientist, data analyst, data engineer. Yeah. Now we'll start with, first of all, the data analyst. Yeah. So who are the data analysts? First of all, let us see. So they are experienced data professionals in their organization who can query and process data, provide reports, summarize and visualize data. Now, normally people are having a misconception that if you want to jump into this data science area or big data area, then you require the knowledge of programming. Yeah, you should be very thorough in programming. But the answer is no. Even if you are having the knowledge of data visualization, yeah, here you can see that these are the different visualizations which are created. So a person who knows how to collect the data, little bit, say he or she knows how to do the data cleaning and data transformation, and the main thing is summarizing and visualizing data. Yeah. So as the dignitaries were also talking about these data analyst positions in various companies, yeah, related to agriculture. So these are the people who are doing these kind of analysis. So even if you are expert in visualization, definitely you can start your journey in any of the organization as a data analyst. The tools which are used by data analyst are mostly MS Excel, then SQL, SPSS, SAS, yeah, MS Access. Nowadays this Power BI and Tableau, it is very, very famous. Now I'm not saying that you should be having knowledge of all the tools. Yeah, I would say first of all that you should have very good knowledge about MS Excel, because in Excel also you can do a lot of data analysis. Yeah, normally I tell the student that even if you are knowing 10 to 15% of MS Excel, yeah, I'm just talking about 10 to 15%, then also you are an expert in MS Excel. Yeah, because MS Excel is huge. Yeah, it's an ocean. So knowledge of MS Excel, SQL, structured query language, and plus if you have knowledge about maybe either both the tools or one tool also, Power BI. Yeah, so later on at the end of the presentation I'll talk about these two tools so that you have some idea. Yeah, so at least if you are having knowledge of these 2-3 tools, it is enough to start your journey as a data analyst. The next one is data engineer. So now who are data engineers? Yeah, so they are data professionals who prepare the big data infrastructure to be analyzed by the data scientists. Now normally these data engineers you can compare with the say with the database say database administrators. Yeah, DBAs. You must have heard DBAs, database administrators. So what is the role of this data engineer? their role is very, very important. They first of all collect data from all the different sources. Yeah, we know that if we are talking about an organization, then organization is having a lot of departments, and they are also having a lot of so sometimes they may have say various locations. Now data is lying in these different places. So if you want to do a comprehensive analysis, then you have to first of all get the data from these different locations, different departments. Now sometimes the data, it is not in a proper structure also. It is not having the same structure. So this person has to prepare a common structure, integrate the data, clean the data. The data cleaning and data transformation is very, very important. Okay, because in so when I was doing my MBA, we were given one term known as GIGO. Yeah, maybe you must have heard GIGO. That is garbage in, garbage out. Now, what is this term? That if you input garbage into the system, then your system is definitely going to give you garbage. Yeah, because even if you are using the best tools, yeah. Now remember that these tools are not God. Yeah, that आपने उसको garbage दिया और वो आपको सोना देगा. No, it is not possible. So that's why whenever you are inputting the data, you have to be very, very careful that what you are entering. Yeah, if you are entering the wrong data, definitely it will give you the wrong analysis. Yeah. So that's why these people, they are doing a lot of their data cleaning, data transformation. And then once the data is ready, then they hand over this data to next person that is known as data scientist. So that I'll be talking after this thing. Yeah. So these are the job roles of data engineers. And normally these data engineers, they are using tools like Hadoop, SQL, NoSQL, Hive, Pig. Okay, this is a small list of these tools. Okay, don't consider that these are all the tools. And if you don't know about these things, these tools, then don't worry. Yeah, just I'm giving an idea. The third one is the data scientist. Now, who are the data scientists? Yeah, you must have very well heard this position, data scientist. Now it is very popular. It says that someone who can turn raw data into purified insight. So in my term, I would say that data scientists are considered as an all-rounder. Okay, so they are expert, first of all, in mathematics, statistics, programming, machine learning, creating models, whatever you say. Yeah, they are having good knowledge about all these things, and that's why they are known as all-rounders. And that is the reason that why data scientists are paid the highest salary. Yeah, among the data analysts, data engineer, and data scientists are getting the highest package. And if I talk about US, then in US, around 130,000 US dollars they are earning per year. If I talk about Europe, then it's around 1 lakh euros, yeah, per year. So that's why they are paid. But it is not so easy to become a data scientist. Yeah, it takes some time to come to this particular position. Okay, directly you cannot start your career as a data scientist. Yeah, it takes time. So they are doing a lot of these things, and the tools which are used, these are some of the tools I would say: Python, R, Scala, Apache Spark, Hadoop, machine learning, deep learning, statistics. Okay, there are many tools which are there. So this person is expert of many things. Yeah, that's why that he or she is getting highest package. These are some of the top big data tools which are available. Yeah, already we have heard all these tools. Yeah. So and most of the tools, they are open source tools. That is the best part of now big data, that most of the tools are open source. Yeah. Then the top data visualization tools, because as I said that if you want to become a data analyst, then you should be good in data visualization. So we are having some of the top data visualization tools over here. So first of all, we'll start with Power BI, then Tableau. Yeah, so Power BI is number one currently in data visualization market, and then we are having this Tableau. Then this is the third one, ClickSense, then ThoughtSpot, fourth one. Yeah, then MicroStrategy is the fifth one, and then sixth one is TIBCO Spotfire. Yeah, so TIBCO is the company name. Yeah, it is based in Ireland. So these are the top 6, I would say, data visualization tools, just for your information. Yeah. Now we are slowly ending towards the presentation. So we are talking now just to give you a brief idea about what is the Indian analytics market. Yeah. So currently analytics market in India is currently valued more than $3 billion US. The market is growing at 26%. It is employing more than 120,000 people. Yeah. Now 600 companies, out of which 400 are startups. Now this is very, very important for the students. Yeah, that out of these 600 data companies, big data companies which are there in India, 400 are startups. So big data is the area where you can have your own startup. Yeah, and normally it does not require that much big investment. Yeah, you require your laptop, you require a good internet connection, plus you require knowledge of the different tools which I have talked about, and you have to have your networking. Yeah, because you require some customers who will give you some projects, and then you can work on it. Yeah, but yes, here in case of big data also, you don't require a very fancy office. Yeah, you can work from home, you can get the work. Yeah, so that is possible. Yeah, so this is about the startups, and the various sectors which are getting benefited are this retail, banking. Yeah, these are some of the sectors I've written. Don't consider this as the full list. Yeah. Then we are talking about the future of data analytics in India. So it says that currently India is among the top 10 big data analytics market, and the target is to become the top 3 in the next 3 years. The analytics market is expected to double by 2025. India will have 32% market share. So currently it is 26%. It will go to 32% market share. And currently a lot of demand has taken place in other sectors also. Yeah, for big data. So this is about future. Then little bit information for all of you for related to the European analytics market. So here, this is just to give you an idea that what is the big data market size which is available. So in 2011, yeah, it was just 7.6 billion US. Then currently now we are now in the starting phase of 2021. So in 2021, it is going to expect or it is going to touch around 65 billion US. And you can see that in 2027, yeah. So if we take the last figure, the last year figure, that is 56 in 2020. So within 7 years, the things will get double. Yeah. So that is the scope of big data over here. Europe also, here we can see that the number of data workers have increased. Yeah, from 6.16 billion in 2020, it was approximately 5 billion million. Yeah, then data companies have also increased, and the data economy value, if you see, from 300 billion into say euros in 2016, it has reached more than around 740 billion euros. Yeah, so here I would say that when I came to Germany in 2017, so at that time still big data was totally new. Yeah, so don't consider that Europe is always ahead of India, but no, it is like here also the things are getting say settled, and then still I would say that big data is in the introduction phase in Europe. Yeah, so there is a lot of scope over here. Now here I've just given you an idea about the average salaries which are there for each level of education. So here I've taken bachelor's, master's, and doctorate, and these are the 7 countries which are there. Yeah, so here you can see that Switzerland is giving the good salary for all the 3 levels. Yeah, then we are having Netherlands and then Germany. Then yeah, we are having UK also. Yes. Now UK is not part of EU, you know very well. Now remember that if Switzerland is giving you more salary, that means that their cost of living is very high. Yeah, many of you must have visited Switzerland, so you know that the overall cost is very, very high over there. Yeah. Now here, if we see this Italy, Now, Italy, we see that the overall the average salary is less. But I have lived in Italy. I know that the overall cost of living is also low. Yeah. So accordingly, so we all know that the salaries are based on the cost of living. Yeah. But this is just to give you an idea. These are the data analytics opportunities in Germany. So this is our, the famous map of Germany. And then all these big dots which you are seeing, these are the major cities. So here we have Berlin, which is the capital, you know very well. Then this is Hamburg. Yeah. Now, just to give you an idea, just to give you an information that Berlin, it is definitely the capital, but it is also the place where you will be finding a lot of startups. Yeah. So here there are a lot of startup companies in Berlin. Then we have Düsseldorf, Cologne. Then here we are having the Frankfurt. This is Stuttgart, and this again this big dot in the southern part. It is Munich. Yeah. So overall, we can say that all the major cities in Germany, they are having this data analytics opportunities over here. Yeah. Now, coming to the last part of my presentation, that is just to give you an idea about what is this Power BI in Tableau. So first of all, both these tools. Yeah. Now this Power BI. Yeah, remember that it is known as MS Power BI. So MS stands for Microsoft. So it is coming from the Microsoft family. And normally I say that Power BI is the big brother of MS Excel. Yeah. So if you are well versed, if you are good in MS Excel, then it is very easy for you to learn Power BI. But even say, for example, even if you are not good in Excel also, still I would say that Power BI is much more user friendly. Yeah. And it is very easy to learn this Power BI. So, Power BI and Tableau, they are both data visualization tools. They are holding top positions in analytics and BI market. Both the tools, I would say that they are much more user friendly than MS Excel. And the best part of, say, for example, Power BI, if I talk about, then the Power BI desktop version, which is there, that is totally free of cost. Okay, so normally whenever I'm conducting my workshops, so I always ensure that the people are not paying anything for the software. Yeah, and thanks goes to Microsoft that they are providing this tool free of cost. Even the Tableau also, they are having one version known as Tableau Public, which is free of cost. Yeah. Now, just to give you an idea that why this say Tableau and Power BI, they are very popular. So this is the famous, I would say, the Magic Quadrant. It is known as Magic Quadrant for analytics and BI platform. And it has been prepared by Gartner company, which I talked about earlier. So here they have given these 4 quadrants. And if you see this leaders quadrant, yeah. So here we are able to see Tableau, and here it is written Microsoft. Yeah. Now, why it is here written Microsoft and why not Power BI? Because Microsoft has been in this data visualization area for many years. Yeah, Excel is also Excel is also one kind of a data visualization tool. Yeah. Then after Excel, they introduced Power Pivot, Power Query, and all those tools. That's why here it is not mentioning Power BI as the leader, but it is mentioning Microsoft as the leader. Yeah. But currently you can say that Power BI is the leader because of Microsoft. Yeah. And Tableau is number 2, and then we are having the other tools over here. Yeah, the other famous tools. Now, just to give you an idea that when I was working with Continental, so I conducted a lot of workshops over there for Power BI. Yeah, I learned Power BI on my own, and there I conducted 34 workshops, and I trained almost like 1,750 plus worldwide participants, because Continental, as you know, that is an MNC. So they are having a lot of locations worldwide. So it was a very, I would say, good experience for me to conduct this thing. And even like so when this webinar concept came into India, before that I was already comfortable with conducting the webinars. Yeah. So thanks goes to this company. Then in this last 1 year, yeah, as it was mentioned in my introduction that say I conducted workshops. So especially for Tableau and Power BI, I have conducted 11 workshops and trained 740 plus industry professionals, students, faculty members in India. Yeah. Now, when I started this journey as a, I would say, trainer and data analyst, I also thought to get some kind of certification. Yeah. So I'm having this Power BI certification from Microsoft. Then I would say 1 week back, I got this Microsoft Excel certification. And because of these 2 certification, I am now Microsoft Certified Solution Associate. So say it is a continuous learning, I would say. Yeah. If the professor thinks that, okay, now he or she has got a lot of knowledge and now I don't have to learn anything, then I think so you are totally wrong. So we have to be always a student, yeah, and we have to continuously learn these things. And here, so when I came to Germany, then I understood the importance of these certifications, yeah. So you are definitely having the experience. Experience is required, but along with experience, if you are getting certifications, then definitely it will help you, yeah. Whenever you are discussing your things with any of the company, then you don't have to say give more information about yourself. Okay, you just say that, okay, I'm certified, and that's all. Yeah. I have also given this Tableau certification. It is known as Tableau Desktop Specialist. Yeah, and now I'm currently working on the next certification of Tableau. It is known as Tableau Desktop Associate certification. Yeah. Then these are some of my Power BI workshops which I have conducted, yeah, with Ganpati University, then one with Adi Shankara Business School, yeah. These are some of my workshops. Normally they are 5 days workshop and total 10 hours. And yeah, these are the workshop. Even here in Hanover, we are having the Indian Association. So Indian Association also conducted my 5 days workshop. And so here they got the sponsorship from one of the local government department, and they say the participants, they could attend this workshop freely, yeah, because I got money from the sponsorship. So this was also a very good experience for me. Tableau also, I started my journey in Tableau by engaging this workshop with one of the institute in Tamil Nadu, that is IFET. They conducted 3 rounds of STTP, yeah, short-term training program. So I took some topics over there in related to Tableau. These are some of the pictures which are there. And then I did this last workshop in November. Yeah. So that's all from my side. Thank you all for listening to me for around 1 hour, I would say. Yeah. And now I'm open to any questions. If you are having any questions, then we can discuss this thing. Yeah. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful, informative session. Sir, we didn't receive any question from our participant side, so thank you once again. Now we are going to start the technical session of this webinar. First, I would like to introduce our first guest speaker, Dr. Ankur Saxena. Dr. Ankur Saxena is a professor and heading 2 departments, namely ICT and Artificial Intelligence and Data Science at Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Sankalchand Patel University, Visnagar, Gujarat. Dr. Ankur Saxena specializes in digital image processing. He completed his BTech from Nagpur University and earned his MTech from UPTU Lucknow in Computer Science and Engineering. He has completed his PhD from Uttarakhand Technical University, Dehradun. His area of research is in digital watermarking technique for improving quality of services. Currently, he is guiding 7 research scholars in various different domains of computer science. He has over 22 years of experience in teaching in graduate and postgraduate levels. His subject of interest is in digital image processing, advanced computer architecture, data science, operating systems, software engineering, and computer networks. He is a student member of IEEE and former student branch coordinator of CSI student chapter. He has published more than 18 research papers in international and national journals and international conference. He also published 2 patents. and earned 2 international and 4 national awards and appreciation. With this, I request you, sir, to start our first technical session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving such a nice introduction of mine. And happy to, I think I'm audible and visible. Is it?
Yes, sir. Both.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So it's a pleasure to be in this platform because of my friend, Dr. C.R. Dodagara, sir, from Anand University. But before I should start, I would like to convey my regards and respect to all the senior person there, like Honorable Vice Chancellor of this university, Dr. R.V. Vyas, sir, Dr. R.C. Agarwal, sir, and I have two advisors in this webinar, which I have ever met. But yes, through Dr. Chetan, sir, I would like to know all this to all of this members who are associated with this webinar, like Dr. Prabhat Kumarji and Dr. Y.C. Jhala, sir. I would also like to extend my thanks and regards to Dr. R.S. Pundir sahab, Dr. D.R. Katharia ji, and my own friend, very good friend, Dr. Chetan. So thank you for giving me this platform to speak some few words on this wonderful topic which you all have chosen. And I am sure that the student and faculty members from your institute, from your university, and the viewers around the globe who are looking to us can gain some insight about data science and this application in agriculture side. Because as I have gone through this presentation of my very good friend, my Gujarati friend, Dr. Samir Rohalia, who is from this area only. I'm very thankful to him also that he is with me today in this webinar.
Thank you, sir.
And, thank you so much, sir. See, there are in world, it happens sometimes, Dr. Samir, that there are some good friends of yours, very good friends of yours around the globe, which you have ever got an opportunity to meet them. But I don't know, but they are very good friends. They are very close to your heart. This line actually goes to you, for you, and to very good friend of mine, Dr. Chetan. See, we have never met, but see, we are together here in this webinar, sharing some knowledge to give some insight. So it's a wonderful experience. You know, it is not necessary that you always met and greet one another. So this is the I could say the effect of digital era, which we are seeing. And as you quoted in your presentation, that this in India, in this COVID-19, a lot of people, even faculty members, got to know about this webinars. Before that, we are using that. I know we are using that, but I'm sorry to say, many of us has never landed up on this kind of platform. Now the whole, that means all the faculty members, professors, everybody from top to bottom in India is using, even in schools, government schools, everywhere we are using this ICT platforms like Zoom and Meet. There are so many. So now we are coming to this webinar and online classes, all this. So it's a very good, see, if you see the COVID-19 effect, it has given something bad to us, but if you see the plus point, one side of the coin also says that it gives us a very good, experience and to learn a lot. Now, every teacher and every professor is very well versed of using these digital and ICT platforms. So now I had some problem with this desktop. So it is working? Okay. So, are you able to see this screen? Can I know?
Yes, sir. Yes, it's visible.
So I have just shared with you all that this is my presentation. I'm keeping this very in a low manner because Already much has been said by my very dear friend, Dr. Samir. He is from industry and he's masters in all these tools. He's doing a lot of things and he's training also a lot of professionals there, corporate persons. So, but my focus is somewhat we match in some areas in my presentation. I will match with the Dr. Samir's views also and some good points. But as being a professor in this in academics, and I am looking towards my students, MTech students and PhD students, because this webinar is actually based on something that they can gain something from this all the hard work done by all my dear friends in organizing this webinar. So I would like to focus on those areas because as a professor, I would like to give some boosting and motivation only, because in this 1 hour journey, you understand, Dr. Samir has also given his best to give insight to the students as well as faculty members, because many things he told us, and I think I even don't know those things, those tools which he actually is using for many years. But keeping again, what I have in my mind is for the MTech students and the PhD students, whether it is in the Anand University or otherwise, they should get something some motivation, I think so. I'm not going to give some any kind of training here, because I am seeing that we have Dr. Meenakshi and Dr. Rajni also, which I am sure they will give some hands-on practice or some tools, information, how to use those tools. They will cover up. But as far as Dr. Samir and myself is concerned, we are here to give some insight about this data science and allied things. So if you see this PPT, this presentation, I'm keeping these 4 things only to cover up in this 45 or 1 hour time, because I will give the insight towards what is data science and why data science, why we should use data science, and the application of data science in agriculture sector, because this webinar is focused for the students in your university and they are working on this area only domain. I will end up my presentation by giving some real life examples. Only one I have. You can say a case study or a real life example, because this will end up with a motivation for the students, and that is the core requirement of the time. As far as this area is concerned. So keeping now the next slide, which is the start of my presentation, is what is data science. So I would like to give some insight on this, but before this, I would like to give one very good example actually, which my professor, when I was in MTech and learning AI and other things, so one of my faculty member, one of my professor, teacher has given this example to me from very that day. It's around, I think 12, 13 years back, if I see. From very that day, I was keeping, I have going on giving this example, which I'm going to give for the students there. And it's a very simple example, but this example, why I'm quoting this example here, why? Because I would like to emphasize what is data, and from where we got the data, and what data actually plays the move from the era of using our AC installed in our offices or at home or at workplace, anywhere. By using the ACs, which we before some years ago, in the past we used to operate it by using a remote, and we used to set the temperature which we required, and we used to do all the settings like thermostat and all those things. Or if you go more back, when the remote was also not there, you have seen that there is a thermostat setting in the ACs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We used to go to that window, and then we have to set the settings, thermostat setting, that we have to put it in 2 or 3 like this. if you go more back then we got a remote. We started adjusting the temperature by using the remote control of that AC. Correct. Now, think over it. What the era we are living now? Because this is not interactive session, I cannot ask the question from the students, so I cannot ask. But still, I would like to quote one question. What do you think about that? What era we are going to see? It is already landed up in most of the countries, in India also. Now we are having much of the devices which are actually implementing AI. But I am again sorry to say that AI implementation is only 25%. Still, we are far behind implementing AI in 100% mode. So I'm going to give us this example, which is actually applied which is going to apply the techniques and the features of AI. See what happens. Let's suppose I'm sitting in our office, in my office, doing some work, and I used to set the thermostat according to my requirement. I had taken up the remote control and set my setting to 24, 22 like this. So what happened? Let's suppose manually I have set the thermostat, or I have set with the use of remote control, but I am setting it as per my requirement. Now what happens? Suddenly, some of my students from outside playing a football match or something like that, out of those 4, 5, 6 students entered my office where I'm working. In a very pleasant mode, I'm working. What will happen? Actually, hota kya hai? In real life, kya hota hai? The temperature, the room temperature get disturbed. Now the requirement of the temperature in AC is again required. What I will do? I will again take a remote control in my hand and adjust the setting of the AC so that I can feel again comfortable while talking to the student. Because what happens? All the body temperature, the heat of the body of those students which are come up to meet me after playing the football match or cricket match like this, that heat will dissipate in my office. I will feel uncomfortable. So I will adjust my AC again to get a cool environment. Correct? So what AI will play role in this? Now we are living in an era where the AI will automatically sense the requirement of the temperature by its own. When Ankur Saxena sir is sitting in the office, let's suppose, alone, then the requirement of the temperature is different. The AI will adjust the setting, the AC will adjust the setting in that condition. When the student will come and meet me, it will again adjust itself by its own. And the moment the student will leave my office, it will again adjust the temperature according to the requirement, the current requirement of my office. See how many times that AC is adjusting itself. There are so many times. Again, if I would like to give an example of what do you mean by a discrete data and a continuous data, see one more example I'm going to give is like this. Suppose one student go back to his home for a rest after the college hours, and he was very much tired. So many of means heat is in his body when he gone back to his home. He said to his mother that, "Mummy, please come and just on the fan." And he lay down on a bed. Mummy came and she put the fan on a running speed of 5. See, we have a regulator in our houses for adjusting the fan speed, but those settings are discrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are called as discrete settings. Mummy came and adjust the setting in 5 because she knows also that he's very tired and he requires a lot of this requirement of fan. But what happens after half an hour when the body temperature of that boy gets changed? He will feel again some cold because of the fan speed of 5. What he will do, he will again shout and call. Generally, the students do like this. He again call and his mother and said, "Mummy, थोड़ा कम कर दीजिए setting को, ठंड लग रही है." Now this time she had put the settings at number 3. Please try to catch my words. She will set the setting at number 3, and she went away to do some household work in kitchen or somewhere else. Now the setting 3 will work for a few minutes, but again the student, that boy, will feel something haughty, in the room, and then he will again call his mother and then, "Mummy, क्या कर दिया आपने? थोड़ा ठीक से set करिए, 4 पे कर दीजिए." Something, he was very much confused because of the temperature of the body is changing every time. Rest में जब आ गया, he came to rest and the body came into rest. The temperature of the body changes. What this example actually is indicating is this, that the requirement of that boy at that particular time is lying somewhere between 3 and 4. But because we have settings in our fan regulator, we have discrete values 3, 4, 5 like this. The mummy or anybody else can't set the settings at 3.66. Correct? This is called as fuzzy logic, fuzzy numbers, and these are also called as continuous values. Now she cannot set the fan speed at 3.66, but yes, the requirement of that boy or that room is lying somewhere between 3 and 4, 3.66. So this is the time where we have to apply, we have to design some devices, whether it's a household or it's an office, anywhere. It must sense the requirement, and it can work with these fuzzy numbers, these continuous values. So these are called as data. From there, I have given this example to understand the meaning of data. It is discrete or continuous. As my friend said, Dr. Samir said, that data can be of many types. 3 categories he has shown in his presentation. So that is wonderful. If you're going to see the data, you're going to learn or apply data science. Before that, try to learn about what is data and how we can arrange. But one very good thing he also quoted, that it is not like that a machine in which you will give a garbage or a meaningless data. It is going to give you diamond or gold as output. No, it is not possible. Very well quoted by him. So we have to understand the meaning of and what type of things we are feeding into our system. So the students there should learn. Have you ever wondered and have you ever known that we also as a faculty member, we have searched something in Amazon or eBay or in Flipkart? Why it has happened that whenever you go to some other than Instagram or to a YouTube, but you might have seen the same ad, the same product which you are searching few minutes back in Amazon or in a Flipkart, those ads, particularly of that product, you see in front of your eyes when you are in Instagram or you are in a YouTube, anywhere. Have you ever think about this? How they have this are working? That is the area of data science. They catch your thought process. They catch the area of what you're searching, and they grasp it, and they use this marketing professionals, these marketing companies, these commerce sites use this data to follow you until you put an order. You put an order in a Flipkart or Amazon, it doesn't mean, but they will chase you until you put an order somewhere and you end up with your requirement. So this is the first line of this second PPT says. Have you ever wondered about how the Gmails filter your emails? It is a spam or non-spam category. Think over this. Why I'm quoting these examples in front of you, students, especially for students, because if you are not aware of your happenings, which is happening in your daily life, you are no more a student. A student definition says that whatever you use from the very beginning of the day, if you're using a Colgate or some toothpaste also, from that point of time, you have to think over it, what I have done today, what we have used in daily life, and then start searching about those things. Ask question from yourself, why this has happened, what is the science behind it. The moment you do all these things, why I'm saying all these things, I want to produce a motivation in your body. I want to give you insight. Start searching about all those things, those sciences behind why, because of that it is happening. And this is called as general knowledge of your domain. This is not simple general knowledge. General knowledge of your domain in which you are working. In which you are going to ask the questions from your faculty members like this. Understand? So try to get the answers of these questions. And as already been said by Dr. Samir, the chief guest of the program, the data science is a field of study that combines different domains, different expertise. But nor he says, nor I will say that that you should fear. I don't know the programming, I will not be able to do this thing. I don't know the tools of analytical tools, I'm not going to do anything. No, don't get it away from that. It is not important to have expertise on everything. You start your work, try to gain the knowledge and some meaningful contents from Google, and then go to your faculty member and ask the questions. And if at any point of time, like Dr. Samir said, there's so many tools available, but you don't know any of the tools there. So what it indicates? You should stop your work? No. Try to get some help from the faculty members, from the experts which are there in the market. In your home also, there are some big brothers, sisters, or some relative who is working in this area. And then if the problem is not again solved, then you can go to your faculty members again to ask them to have some such more webinars on these areas in which we can learn and you can get a hands-on experience on those tools. See, people are around. Dr. Samir also said that, yes, he's also looking to get associated with your university in the later stage also, because this is a World Bank project, in which we are all working. So if your authorities in your college will collaborate with such kind of people more and more, then they are always ready to impart their information, knowledge to the students and the faculty members, so that the project which are going to make, the project you are going to make in MTech level, means PG levels, or the projects or the research work in PhD, you can get the help from all these things. See, if I again quote the second last line of my PPT, which is saying that tools from fields including computer science, predictive analytics, statistics, and artificial intelligence. So just try to acquire knowledge, only that much knowledge. I'm again quoting, only that much knowledge from all these fields which you require in your project. Don't go for a bigger boat. Land up in a small boat. See what the things you can learn and how can you implement those things in your project. Otherwise, we'll get lost, and we won't appreciate that. Your faculty members also don't going to appreciate that you lost your hope and lost your project. So try to acquire that much knowledge. It is very much important. As a professor, I am saying this: only acquire that much part which is required in your project. Be focused. Be focused. Now, if I go to the slide in front of you is data science examples. If you see the last bullet point of this presentation, this PPT is about you guys, agriculture sector. Data science examples, there are so many. I'm not going to read it out but if you see the last point, now this data science is helping our farmers and agriculture experts to get more and more outputs in every regard. I will cover up in my later PPTs. But yes, see, I will like to quote one more thing. The farmers are not very much literate. They just know how to do the work in the field and give you the stuff to eat, whether it is a vegetables or it is a groceries items. So please see things very nicely, that you as a student in this university or the students worldwide doing some work in this domain, agriculture side, you are the bridge between the users like me and the farmers which are growing the crops in the field. You are going to act as a bridge. You can give the insight. You can only help with your what you call research, with your outcomes, your any what you call innovations. You are going to again, I will quote Dr. Samir. Dr. Samir has said that out of many much bigger persons have started their startups in this field. So you can also do something like that, and you can help the farmers. Like, see, again, I'm quoting this. I'm going to the next slide. But again, I'm going to quote one thing here. I don't know whether should I quote, because I don't believe in politics and I'm not a person of politics, any such areas. But yes, see what is happening today in our country. A lot of farmers are doing protest. I don't know why and what they will get, but they're putting their demands. And governments had come up with some protocols and rules, some niti, some kind of things for the farmer, and they are not very much, very much agree on those things. So what they are doing protest. As a student, I would like to ask the students and the faculty members there, is it right? They don't know the in and outs of those rules, the government is trying to do for their betterment, so that they can get a good price of, here I'm quoting the price only, other factor will not take, so that they can get a better price directly from the factories or the companies or from the person who is buying the crops. They are trying to build some type of protocols so that the farmer can get the better price of the crop, and the society level of in this country should go down. And the many wrong practices which are there in between the farmer and the users, people are there to misguide them. So you can help them by your knowledge domain, so that these such kind of things should not get repeated in the future also, and the farmers can get some kind of information how they can grow their crops and how they can sell. While if you talk about selling part, then the market expertise and market scenario, marketing persons will require. But when they're growing the crops, they require your expertise, your inventions, your insight, your knowledge. They require. So I'm very much focused and I'm very much positive about this in this area, that our farmers will one day, they will understand and they will know the better path to follow. See, if I talk about some of the other countries which are doing very good, the scientists are doing very good by using the apps and all those things. They are helping their farmers to do wonders in this area. And I don't know how many of you are aware of some of the apps which are available in Google Play Store or in Apple phones. So there are some apps which I have gone through. In India also, there are some few apps, namely Agri app, which is available in Google Play, Bharat Agri, which is again, it is a smart farming app available in Google Play Store, IFFCO Kisan Agriculture app, again available in Google Play. Mostly all the four are available in Google Play. The last one is Kisan Suvidha. So being a student of this university, I don't know, because this is again, I'm saying this is not an interactive session. So how many of students belonging to this agriculture university have ever think of, have a search of these apps which are there available in Google app? How many app you know which other countries are using? One is called as FarmGraze, 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 from FARM, Farm Med, MED. These kind of app are available in Google Play Store. I don't know whether they are available in, I have not checked whether they are available in Apple Store. I don't know, but yes, they are using this kind of apps for much time from now. And this app is, if I talk about FarmGraze, FarmGraze, I'm repeating again, so that if you want to note it down, you can note it down and you can search about this app. You can take ideas from this app, and you can also, by taking the ideas from this app, you can design your own app for your own country. Get the ideas, what kind of features are there. So if I say about this app is actually invented by some farming experts in one of the renowned university. I'm again not able to recall that university name, but it is some renowned university in UK. They have this, and this app actually focuses on measuring and recording and what you call managing grazing platform with FarmGraze. And this app is actually helping to save money on unnecessary, as far as the feeding part is concerned, as far as fertilizers are concerned. They save a lot of money, and they save time also on their farm by using this app. And it is already giving much of the, providing much of the help to the farmers in reducing the paperwork and calculations, then to getting the better returns of their crop, and giving some ideas how they can sell, where they can sell the crops, some how they can increase the production, so how they can reduce the cost, like all these things. As Dr. Samir said also, that if a forecast is there that tomorrow we're going to have a rainy next day, so why you should go and give the water today to your fields? You can save water, because I think every country is facing this problem. Save water, save power, save this thing, save electricity. All these things are coming up. So in that area, he said that if we want to save water, because there are many countries which are having a challenge as far as water is concerned. Our country is also facing, but in some of the state, not everywhere. But yes, if we know that there is a forecasting. If I talk about forecasting again, I recall a very good example which belongs to AI, but I'm going to quote here because my presentation will become very much long. But there are very good examples as far as weather for real time. This is a real time, and we need a very good servers and calculations and processing speed, processing power to analyze the weather forecasting on daily basis, on a real time basis. But yes, if he said that if we have a forecasting that tomorrow we are going to have a rainy season and it will rain tomorrow, so why we should go and waste our water and give, we not only waste our water, we waste our energy also to feed our farm, so to give the water to our fields. So coming back to this PPT, which is in front of your eyes, what data scientists do. So again, this is a repeat only, nothing add. I'm just repeating and adding what my friend Dr. Samir already said. That this is the combining computer science, modeling, statistics, analytics, math skills, all those things. But these words will, again, I'm saying these words, these areas might make you fear that I cannot do anything. But as already said, that only take those part, do all those things only which your project demands. Don't go in a larger scale. And in the last, it said, along with sound business sense. This second last line, along with sound business sense. Because if you grow good crops in time, on time, whatever you want to say, but if you fail in this last area, which is called as business sense, you won't get good return from your all this hard work. And money is important. Without money, nothing is actually possible. So we should get, the farmer should get a good returns when we apply this in business sense. They are not literate. You have to help them. Your inventions, your project should cover all these areas. The crush line, the main line which I want to say, your project should cover all the domains which are required. Don't leave any domain unturned, because this is going to and this data scientist, the work of data scientist answers to major questions, not only to the individuals but also to the organizations, to take major decisions. The word is major decisions, where it is very much important on time. If I talk about this PPT, this life cycle, data science life cycle, I have intentionally included this into my presentation. Why? I hope, I don't know how much I will win this fight, but this life cycle I come up with my presentation to help to my MTech and PhD scholars there, so that they can know that these 6 things has to be covered. These 6 things has to be done in your project, whether it is a PG level project or it is a research. These 6 things are very much required. So I have given some idea, and in the last I have given my mail ID also. And also, if somebody wants this insight about life cycle, I am ready to help them in the future also. So if I start with the first, which is said, define problem statement and what your statement should cover. I have given some. I'm not saying that I'm given the much insight, but I'm giving us some idea how you will define your problem statement when you're going to submit the synopsis. When you're making the synopsis, when you're going to take a firm decision about your problem statement, your objective, your aim, anything, and before submitting it to your project guide, please think over this. Please take a firm decision that whether or not you have made that problem statement well defined or not. If you lack in anywhere in this problem statement, you will going to lose the battle actually, because many times expert is going only to ask n number of questions in your problem statement when you're going to display your work in front of some expert or committee. So please be very much clear about your problem statement. What is, if I try to define, I think most of you are reading the line by line in this PPT. And if I repeat this, it is creating a well-defined problem statement. It is a very first and the crucial step in data science. It is actually this PPT, this word is actually data science, but I'm connecting all these things with a project, because your project is going to be based on AI and data science. Correct? If you're going to build your app or project, then you have to involve data science, AI, machine learning, and your domain. With the domain is this agriculture domain. So I'm not going to read this line by line, but I'm sure the viewers there in YouTube or elsewhere, they are having a clear picture what should their problem statement hold. Then comes the very important point, data collection. Because I'm very happy, again, I will quote that many of us, my honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, Dr. R.V. Vyas sir also, and Jhala sir also has in his opening speech has very much given an insight on data collection, about the role of data science. I'm very much happy listening to these my seniors. So if I talk about data collection, very much already said by Dr. Samir sir also, but here I am in a very lighter mode. I have covered this, and I have given these two categories. One is called as primary, and the second one is called secondary. When you have some unique problem and no related research is done on the subject, then you need to collect new data through various methods, such as surveys, interviews, or employees. Survey point में मुझे अच्छी तरह से याद आ रहा है, sorry to speak in Hindi, but मुझे अच्छी तरह से याद आ रहा है कि Honorable Vice Chancellor sir ने भी, Dr. R.V. Vyas sir ने भी इस सर्वे पे जोर दिया था अभी उनकी अपनी स्पीच पे. तो देखिए, all the persons which are involved in this webinar have given wonderful points in regarding in these areas. Very happy to see that they are all aware. They are expecting a good outputs from you after this webinar, or one or two more webinars on tools and techniques. But they are expecting a good outcome from all the students of this prestigious university, Anand Agriculture University. So try to build something meaningful. So we need to collect data, but the data category is fallen into two categories. One is primary and the second one is secondary. I have already given the example of primary data collection, but if you go to secondary data collection, the data which is available already, or you have taken from somewhere else, like Google, you're going to some search in Google, you got some images, you got some satellite images from there, and you have used in your project. That kind of data which is already available elsewhere, then what happens? These data can be found on the internet, news articles, government magazines, and so on. So if you have taken this kind of things, these helps, then your data will be said to be a secondary data collection. Moving on to the next slide. I'm just giving a brief of all these 6 topics so that it can help you in making your project, how you can include all these things, how you can add all these things in your project. One of the most important and often ignored, I have written this, often ignored, because we all are in hurry in our daily life. The students are in hurry to submit the project, thesis, to the guides, to their mentors, so that they can get it assigned by them and they are over. They feel relaxed. They can breathe. The students are hurry in that. So not the students, many of us also, including me also, we all are in hurry to complete some task, but we never care whether we are completing that task in a proper manner. Is it covered in all the respects? Is it covered and checked by in all regards? No, we never do this. We are always in hurry to get it signed, submit, defense, got the PhD degree, or got the MTech degree, PhD degrees. We are always in hurry. So that is why Dr. Samir sir also said that we always ignored this data quality check area, and we always submit some garbage, something meaningless to the machine which we have designed. But if you give the raw data to the machine, it is going to give you the raw again. Don't expect a gold or diamond from there. Okay, so it is very much important to ensure that the data is used, which is going to use for analysis and interpretation, is of good quality. This is your responsibility. For example, I'm making an Excel sheet. Let's suppose I'm making an Excel sheet and I'm writing my name in the very first column. It is having many fields, phone number, name, and all those things. But I'm feeding my name as far as the name field is concerned. I'm writing Dr. Angu Saxena there. But in the next field, I'm writing a phone number of somebody else. In the third column, I'm writing the address of somebody else. What does this mean? This is all raw data. It is not going to be a meaningful data. Understand? So data plays a very major and critical role, and nobody in the whole world can analyze this kind of data, which is having a name of myself, phone number of somebody else, of my friend, the address of some of my relative. This is going to not to be held. So this is your major requirement to design that data in some of the meaningful way. Because when after the second paragraph of this PPT says, after collecting the data, after gathering the data, after acquiring data from any of the source, most people start the analysis on it. Often they forget to do a check on the data. If the data is in bad quality, it is going to give the bad output always. So to summarize it, see the last line of this PPT: garbage in, garbage out. Nothing will be meaningful in that. Next slide says about the data analysis. And this data analysis is actually trying to give you the insight that if you're going to model your steps which you have designed and from which you are going to visualize or expecting some solution, please, it is important to analyze the data before modeling it. Please note this point. It is a major point in your project. It's a major step. So if I again summarize, because I don't have much of my time. So if I summarize this data analysis part for the students, read the last line. It is important to understand what you can do before you learn to measure how well you seem to have done it. I think this sentence itself is self-explanatory, and you understand what I'm trying to say. So I always try to put some bottom lines in my PPTs, which I have done in this also. Now came the data modeling part. After analysis, you're going to do the modeling. Modeling means what? Modeling means formulating every step and gathering the techniques required to achieve the solution, your goal. You need to list down the flow of the calculations, which is nothing but modeling steps to the solutions. Which is nothing but modeling steps to the solution. The important factor which is there, which you have to see upon, is that how you are going to perform the calculations. And for calculations, there are various techniques available, which already we have covered in our previous slides. Machine learning, you will go and try to train your machine. If your machine is untrained, you are not going to get any output. But machine learning is required then. And machine learning is of two types: unsupervised learning and supervised learning. So again, I request my dear students, all the loving faces there, please note down these things. Try to acquire, try to Google it from the various sources. What do you understand by unsupervised learning? What do you understand by supervised learning? The next is then data communication. This is the final step where you present the results from your analysis. Most often you need to present at your findings to a non-technical person. Yes, it is very, very well said here also, that sometimes you're going to explain your project, your findings, your outcomes, your results to a mass people there, but you know that those are non-technical persons. Now, how you will put this in front of those? How will you explain it? And this is the major, please note it down. This is the major point as far as the students of this university, to all the students which are studying in a agriculture type of university, because they are going to interact, they are going to present, they are going to implement to the farmers. In the starting, I have said this thing, that farmers are not that much literate. Very few. If you find the percentage, I don't think so, you will get a good numbers. They know how to do the farming, but they're not literate. And you are going to explain them how to use those apps, how to get the better benefits, how to get the better cost of the production, how should they use the resources which are very much crucial while farming the field. So you are the person, you're going to interact with those non-technical, I would say illiterate persons. Then how can you explain these things? So these few points you have to keep into your mind, which is said to be a know your audience and speak. And these are very simple things. These are called always a soft skills portion also. And you are all well matured persons there. If the audience, as I told I have noted down, I think our VC sir or somebody said that today's audience, how many are the faculty members and how many are the students. So I am very well aware about that. The good portion is of students. Then my dear friend faculty members there, my colleagues are there. So these are the few of the points which are very much important, because you can create a wonders, you can do a wonders in your project, but it is also very much useful in what fashion, in what way you are going to communicate this with the audience, which are non-technical audience. Now moving on to the why data science. 21st century we are living on. Many things are coming as a gift to us, a driving force to all of us. Like in COVID-19, there's a driving force of using the ICT skills, ICT platforms like Google, Meet and this Zoom meetings and all those things. People started learning overnight. Many faculty members have learned all those things. They have asked one to other how to do this, how to share the slides, and how to all these things, very small things, but they had learned overnight because there was a driving force. They have to take a lecture the very next day because the principal or the vice chancellor's orders were there that you have to keep your teaching with using the online mode, and you have to learn all those things. So overnight, people had learned. So here, if I talk about the driving force in industry or such kind of platforms, such kind of domain, is data. And every factories, any manufacturing companies, everywhere, data is playing a very major role. The idea is to create powerful machines that think in the form of data. Data science is also the power, electricity that the industries of today are using. So we have to understand the meaning of this data science, the meaning of data. Why? Because to improve the performance, to make our business grow and provide better products to your customers. Your product is your crops. Your farmer is going to fertilize this, all those things. So the why data science I have covered. It will hit 2-3 major topics here. The first one is of problem of demand and supply. I'm not going to read this line by line. It's very simple language is there, and we all know what is the problem of demand and supply. We all know. Then the next, we also need a very good carrier. If we are dealing with this agriculture domain, you also are expecting a very good carrier. So everybody wants, but your domain is agriculture actually. So, and data science can make the world, third point is data science can make the world a better place. Yes, it is doing so. Dr. Samir also emphasizes on the big data. He's working day and night, and he is very words of this thing, big data and data sciences. So keeping that in mind, again, you all know now, because when we have a good processors, then we are playing with the digital images, digital data, all those things. Before, in older days, we don't have so much of memory to store such big data. Now even also, we don't have a space. So we are using a cloud storage. And you all know what is cloud storage. So the data is actually coming from many sources. Huge data we are gathering and acquiring every second. Every second. If you go and see how this Google is actually storing data, you will get many insight there. How Google is storing these data and managing it. So this is something which is to be kept on mind, to be kept in mind. And the last, before moving to the end of this presentation, I would like to give some basic idea to the faculty members and the students where you can do wonders. You can take the help of faculty members. These are from my side. I'm sorry to say, you may know much of this, but as Dr. Samir and myself, we are not from the agriculture side domain, but we have tried our level best to correlate data science, AI to this sector. We have tried, but you may have some various ideas in your mind, but I have, from myself as a professor, I have given some of the 6 hints to my PG students and research scholars who are doing PhD there, that these are some major areas where you can do. Again, I will say that don't pick multiple categories from this. Always focus on one area and try to complete that project in that area also, only. Don't think I will do this also, I will include that also. मेरे में भी add कर लेते हैं, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. Nothing. Do that. Take only one major area, major field, and start working on that. Don't put your legs in multiple boats. Otherwise we will lost. Don't. Also, I will say as a professor, don't try to learn many of the tools, many of the techniques. No, choose any one. So many options was given by Dr. Samir as far as tool is concerned. And he itself is actually, as far as I know, he is actually means using 2 major tools out of those. And he's a master of those tools. You also become a master of one category, one tool. Don't put your legs in multiple. You will get lost. कुछ भी नहीं होगा फिर. Try to learn one tool. Take the help from the market also, the experts there. Go and learn some technique. Try to give your free time to search in the Google. I'm very well assured that you can do wonders if you be serious about this only. So distal, soil and crop mapping you can do. Second one is weather prediction. Yes, it is also linked to this domain. You can help the farmers. You can help the our country. You can help the end users by doing so. Weather prediction. Fertilizer recommendation. What kind of fertilizer they should use. And disease detection and pest management also there. Adaptation to climate change, very much important. And automated irrigation system. So there are some hints where you can do the research, PhD or PG level. Then as I'm running out of time, I have a meeting also. So this is a real life example I have come up with you for you all. And this example actually is from Egypt, where you can see the farmers use water pumps to collect water from the river Nile to their crops. See the difficulty which they are facing. They're using the advanced water sprinklers also to irrigate large fields. So you can go this through this example, real life example, and think over what you can do and what kind of example you can set for society, for the government, for the farmers, everybody, every stakeholders there in this domain. See, I have quoted this in the second paragraph. I have quoted again this app, which is a UK-based app. A university has developed this. Some of the expert called as Farm Grace. You can go and see the unique features in that, and you can utilize that those into your project or in anywhere which you want to. So this is the I have given some examples of some Indian apps also, which are there available in Google Play Store. And this is the last slide, which is very much important. Thank you for hearing me. And before ending this, again, I will again want to convey my regards, my respect to all the seniors present who has given me this platform. My good friend, Dr. Chetan there. And I will look forward to more and more such academic alliances from your institute in different platforms. I will be happy to get assisted always. This I have given my email ID also for the viewers out there. If you have any query about this data science or AI, so you can shoot your queries. I will be happy to give your answers on time. And with this, please allow me to leave the session. I have to go and to attend some meeting.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Dr. Chetan,
Yes, yes, sir.
mistakes, any
Yes,
mistakes,
sir.
please forgive me. But yes.
Yes, Saxena, sir. Thank you for accepting our invitations. And you are here to deliver some sessions. You give the very informative sessions to all these participants, how to go ahead with the data and how to include the data in the research work, in the project, and various different types of analysis. So once again, thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation, and it was very good and very informative session. So thank you all, and all the participants are informed to be present at 2 p.m. for the next sessions. So thank you all.